Deadlock got played again, this time on bind, and Vitality lost. And it didn't go that great. But there were some cool things done with the Deadlock. And just a quick couple announcements as well. One is that I've started streaming on YouTube now as well as Twitch. So if you want to watch the VCT games, or at least a majority of them on YouTube alongside me, then come and do it. It will be fun. And the second thing is that I have added channel memberships alongside that as well. Now I've tried to make it as similar as just being a Twitch sub is. So there isn't really any like crazy special perks. It's basically just a way, if you want to support the channel, then do that, right? And I will thank you greatly for being a channel member, and maybe when there's less things going on, we'll organize some stuff to do. Okay, but now back to Deadlock, and there was value found from the very first round.
Outside of Hookah, so it's definitely going to be fun. It seems like Vitality have been in the lab, and they're looking to cook things up straight away.
Yeah, I'm very excited for all the different setups we could see. Starting defensive side as well, Kix is going to get to show us his whole arsenal, and immediately a sonic sensor thrown down on B long as well. Some info there. Often you're going to get through that smoke by flashing. You run through on the other side, well, you're going to be stunned up. Here comes the drop, the stun as well, but the flash has managed to block a bit of vision. Kix, though, still able to get himself a double, goes back out to try and deny the plant, loses his life.
Okay, so there's some really cool things going on from the very start. Let's start with the setup that they go for here on the Deadlock on this pistol round. So obviously the sonic sensor here coming for the drop, obviously just kind of a win, right? Obviously you're going to make noise when you drop, so it's going to go off and stun people, which it did. But then if we come to what they do as well, I really like this idea, right? So the smoke out here from the brim with the sonic sensor then placed behind it, right? Again, this is a nice idea, because if they want to go for some kind of flash through and fight in this smoke, especially on a pistol round, right, when we're fighting out here, you know, they're not going to just insta-dink you, headshot you most likely, and so therefore this will go off and then stun them, and then, you know, maybe someone else swings and we get some kills, right? So again, I like the kind of general idea of this to start off with, and then something kind of cool happens as well, where you can see that from Kix's POV, he's looking to throw the TP, his wall through the TP, right? So if they were coming here out towards shower, the idea being, I think, that, you know, anyone coming up here is going to basically get trapped. They can't escape, right? You're going to wall essentially behind them and kind of trap them in and force them to take this fight, which is a kind of a cool idea as well. Obviously that doesn't come to fruition because no one is there, as we can see. But then what you might not fully realize here either is when this fight does come in from Navi, as they start to run through Hookah here, is we're actually going to get the grab net as well. Now I'll show you the kind of what happens on the replay, because it gives a pretty good example from Kix's POV of how he gets these kills. But you'll see that the Deadlock value in this round is kind of crazy, because what Navi are looking to do here essentially is, you can kind of tell they've gone for these very shallow smokes. It looks like they're actually trying to, maybe even trying to pinch on this essentially, but they can't pinch on this area, because what you might just be able to see in here as the flashes are going off, and so it's a bit hard to tell, is the wall is up here as well, right? So you can't pinch on this area because the wall is there. So now we can just fully focus on this way. So in this first round, pretty much all of our Deadlock utility is fine in value, and now Kix is gonna get 2 kills from this position. You can just kind of see the grav net. This is this tail of it here coming down. That's gonna hit multiple of these people. The sonic sensor is gonna go off and stun them, and that's what's allowing us to get these kills from Kix just here. So a really, really nice idea and round from Kix in general. He does then get traded by Angel, but now Sender is going to clean up and Vitality will win the round.
Goes back out to try and deny the plant, loses his life, but the numbers still sit towards Vitality for now.
Still a lot to find, but never mind. Sender so low on HP has almost eliminated everybody. And with the wall currently blocking off long, it has to be a full wraparound. There's just not enough time for Xiao to get anything done in this scenario.
Out of Hookah can be a huge problem. Even the net thrown through to...
Okay, moving on to round number 4, where we've got something else really cool happening with the Deadlock. The same kind of setup that we saw in the pistol round just here with the same 2 sonic sensors. But in goes a Dizzy Flash in here from Angel, and they come and take hookah, do Navi. We can see the Vitality are playing aggressive in towards short, and that's going to be important for what they're going to do next, because what they do next is a really cool hookah re-clear. Because what you are about to see is Sender here on Brim, he's going to walk up to the box, and he's going to come and swing on this angle. Whilst that's happening, we're going to get a Gravnet coming in here as well, from the Deadlock, and we're also going to get a nade thrown across the TP. So that's why it's kind of important that they keep some level of short control, so they know they can do this nade, and this is a really clever, interesting way of doing this kind of hookah re-clear, you know, to send the Gravnet in here. Sender obviously wins that fight, but then there is no trade available, right? Like, sometimes you might say, oh, a second player, where's the trade, right? This guy, just trade him out, 4v4, we're good. But there is no trade, because if someone does try and come for this trade, well, they're just going to die to the Gravnet coming down, and you see that the nade will come through the TP in a second as well. Like, you would just die if you tried to trade that. So a really, really interesting idea from Vitality there, and a really cool kind of way of, like, re-clearing hookah, which you don't often see, right? It's normally pretty risky to get back up on the box and try and re-challenge hookah. So a really interesting idea. Then as the round runs forward, we find a bit more Deadlock value in this one as well, which is obviously as the time starts to get low, we then throw the wall out here towards long, right? So we've thrown the wall in here as well, and obviously with only 54 seconds left, if that wall stays up, that means that we can feel a bit more confident about our B hold in general, and mean that we start to rotate here with our raids, and then slowly, eventually here, they will get back towards 3 players on A, which then is going to help them, of course, close out this round.
No utility for Extreme, but this fight could be everything though. Trex taking down Shao, Smoke's gone, and now the rest of the players isolated as they head into the site.
With Angel dropped, he got a little bit aggressive. You can understand why. They need something to fall back in their favor in a 3v5, but now a 2v5 post-plant. No nade to work with on Artis, a snake bite for Sugetsu, but the poison orb isn't even on that spike. This is going to be raw fights. The flash didn't pop in time, and now an orb's gone up for Vitality, obscuring the vision. Artis spotted, spammed, and on 11 HP, he was not going to last very long.
Now let's move on to the other side though, because from there Vitality did struggle with the rest of their defensive side. Wasn't necessarily a Deadlock problem for them, but Navi were just hitting some shots and playing pretty well in general, coming up with a pretty good plan, I think, against the Deadlock. But we'll come to the attack side pistol, where again we find pretty much mega value here from the Deadlock Gravnet. This is about as much value as you could ever have here, because funnily enough, Navi are going for a similar sort of play, aggressive here towards the TP, as you can see. And they're going to actually come out here and run this trap play in a second. So they see contact there from Hookah, does Sugetsu, and now they're in position, now that they've got this short control, to go for this trap play. And really here, Vitality kind of get destroyed by it, right? There's only 2 of them here, so essentially they're going to be in a 2v3 coming from multiple directions. You'd think that they have no chance, but just watch this Gravnet.
As we see on the map, they're very spread out. Unfortunately, that means there's not many players here to defend against this push. Navi straight through the teleporter, but Runner, another triple for him, showing up here and now, and giving Vitality a second lease of life in this pistol. It's a 2 versus 2. Runner's taking some damage. He's already used up his boom bot as well. And they don't have any information on Shao and Artis. And it's Shao and Artis. Quite a combination to try to take down.
This is almost going to be a game of chance, because Vitality, the reason they're taking so much time is because, of course, they will have had the expectation that maybe somebody will have rotated over. And for the side of Navi, they're slowly walking up behind them. Now, they definitely had the foresight to think, okay, there could have still been someone in hookah. So that's definitely an angle that they're going to want to try and keep an eye on, especially now with the knife coming out of it. Both players caught. That gives Artis enough info that there isn't anybody back towards Shao. Doesn't need to clear any of these positions. And while they're trying to still clear in towards that defender spawn, because they are yet to spot where Shao is.
Look at the plant position, though. I mean, it's not like you can stop them from spawn. They have a nade online for the side of Vitality that could maybe push them off that defuse, and Navi are taking a while to claim the space.
Smoke's down.
This could be a little bit awkward. Let's hope that nade is well placed. It's enough to force them out, but now they know exactly where Runner is. His 4th kill already locked in, but the defuse is underway, and the smoke will obscure his vision. Good connection. And now he knows it's being stuck again. The spray through, it's everything, but he's missed! The right position of Shao is enough to claim victory. The pistol goes to Navi.
And so Vitality were unable to close it out there, but again, the Gravnet came in big. And I think that that's the thing, particularly for Deadlock on attack side. The main bit of utility that you must be finding value with is that Gravnet, and we get plenty of examples of it in this game, to be honest, of the potential of that ability, particularly with a raise and with a raise nade, because this is another great example here after Vitality have then lost the bonus round as well. So they're in a pretty rough spot, but just take a look. They kind of get the hint that Artis is back site, right? So they get that kind of information, and instantly we've got the Deadlock and the raise together. Take a look at this. I mean, Artis gets trapped right here by the Gravnet. Nade comes in. He's just an instant death, right? Really, really good stuff. Easy first kill to find, a way of getting a first kill. But then the same kind of thing is going to happen for Vitality over and over again, where then they just can't convert from that point, and they just end up losing a lot of fights and losing the round.
Gravnet in play. Angel's still around, though. They might even just showstopper him. No, never mind. He's still kicking. He really is having a phenomenal game. Got himself the ultimate online. Kicks looking to try and respond. Been spotted. It's going to be the flash to try and help Xiao get the kill, but Angel's doing it all on his own. 8 kills now in 2 rounds. Finally, he's been put in the grave.
And this maybe is just where, you do kind of think, is Deadlock just lacking a little bit, right? Because yes, whilst we do get off the nice combo that we see from Vitality with the Gravnet, maybe, I mean, obviously the Gravnet is very, very big, right? That's the kind of big advantage is, it probably will hit someone. And so targeted with a nade could be very good, right? But whilst we get that first kill, as I said, they then run into the problem of, Runner tries to run out and he's dry and he's on his own and they don't have any flash. And our utility that we're sending in is a wall, which is a perfectly fine wall, and that's kind of cool that you can send a wall from still inside Hooker and, hit one that comes all the way back here and stops people coming in. That's fine, but still taking the site can be a problem, even if you get that first kill. But in round 20, we would get one last look at what a really nice exec with this kind of comp can look like.
You might be right. I don't think a shot was fired off. Definitely not when he was saving it. And not here starting out the round for Zipan. Forced back by the snake bite that came through the roof up top. In comes the wingman. Zipan will avoid him. And that player wants to go back and claim him again. Safe was able to catch them off guard last round as he went to reclaim his utility. This time he dodges a bullet, swings out wide, and takes another. Beautiful stuff for Safe, and he's not stopping anytime soon with Angel spotted on the flank. It's all left onto Xiao. And this 13th round will evade Navi.
So again here, let me just show you the replay of this because this was truly amazing. So it starts with the Dizzy Flash, right? So the Dizzy Flash has been thrown through the kind of gap in showers here. Kind of off the map essentially somewhat, and it's blinded both Zipan and Sugetsu here. We're then gonna get, as you can see, the Gravnet coming in here hits Sugetsu, the Snakebite hits Sugetsu, the nade is coming for Sugetsu and kills him as well. Really, really amazing stuff, to get that many assists. And then Zipan is having to blast back away while blinded, and he gets killed as well. So just a really, really nice exec overall. And then you've got the wall back here as well, again stopping anyone from potentially flooding out. And a wall like this again would be a problem. Obviously we killed so many people that it wasn't a problem for us, but obviously forcing anyone to come out of heaven or again be heavily delayed, again a pretty nice just overall kind of idea there from Vitality. So there definitely were some nice moments for the Deadlock. I think my problem with Deadlock is there are still better options, right? We did see some nice combos there with a Gravnet, which is great. You can do some of those combos with a Fade Siege. You do have to be more accurate, but you can. And would Fade give you more value overall? In my opinion, probably yes. I think the Deadlock, you can see that there is something there, right? It's not a troll pick anymore. I do think that if Riot really wanted to make Deadlock kind of like they have with Gecko, right? Where Gecko is now kind of becoming the meta. If they really wanted to push Deadlock, the way of doing it would be to give Deadlock a second Gravnet. I do think that that would be kind of the thing that really made Deadlock like, a good, really good pick on certain maps. If they wanted to do that, they might decide that that's a bit too strong and they don't want to do that for whatever reason. But that, I think, would be the way you make Deadlock, pretty good. Or make the Gravnet Deadlock's, signature ability so that it recharges as well. Something like that, I think, also would be a way of, kind of helping Deadlock quite a lot. Because, as we can see, that ability seems to be the one that is the strongest for that agent.